Navitus Parfums, eh? They're sort of just this big company hoovering up YouTubers to sort of release fragrances and ultimately do the marketing for them and just throw money at it, and they're all just mass produced fragrances that smell quite similar, and they just almost come off a production line with a different label on, right? That's what a lot of us think to it. And to be honest, I was sort of in agreement until I smelled this fragrance. Word to your mother, my name's Steve, this channel is Frags to Riches. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to my little man cave that I built in the garden just so I could get away from anybody that actually cares about me. Today we're talking about Navitus Parfums, and in particular one of their fragrances, Exalt Nuit. So this is actually from Big Beard Businesses, or Buck, his fragrance line that he's done in collaboration with Navitus Parfums. Now, just to get this out of the way, I did not pay for this bottle, but Navitus did not send it to me. So I actually got this fragrance was sent to me from the good people at Luxe Parfum. I'll link them down below. Basically, it's a UK website, and they specialise in a lot of niche fragrances that aren't always easy to get in the UK, so it makes life easier. There's Byron on there, there's a lot of the Navitus ones. They've got all sorts, there's Kajal, they've got loads of really good niche fragrances on there at some good pricing as well. As I say, typically there's some of the ones that are a bit more difficult to get hold of in the UK, such as like George Zaharoff's fragrance line, for example, as well. So those guys sent me this bottle, so I didn't pay for it. So you might say that, yes, so I'm obviously going to say really good things about the fragrance, but if you think about it, I don't have to, because as I've told you about their website and all of the fragrances that they sell, so you can just go there and find other fragrances. You don't have to buy this one, so I don't necessarily have to praise this particular fragrance or feel obliged to, not that I would anyway, but I'm just kind of getting it out there. So if I do say nice things about the fragrance, and I will, because this is actually really fucking good, just bear that in mind. Yeah, you might think I'm a shill or whatever, but Navitus or Big Beard B did not send me this fragrance, so I don't feel obliged to say anything particularly nice about it. The first thing I noticed with this fragrance when it arrived is the presentation is really top notch. The box is really nice, it's really smart looking, very professional. There's a nice presentation kind of card in there with all the notes in, and the bottle is very heavy and looks very good. Again, very professional, and the lid is a solid metal lid, very heavy, as is the bottle. So yeah, really impressed with the presentation. So when I first smelt this, the positive first impressions continued. Now, I'm gonna be honest and say I don't absolutely love the opening. I think it smells really good. But the kind of citrus bergamot with the cacao, which is very noticeable at the top, is very kind of this strong chocolatey accord. So those two elements right at the top, don't really blend that well together to me, to my nose. I don't know. It's not that it smells bad. It just doesn't. It's not its best, to be honest, right at the top. And when I say right at the top, I mean in the first few minutes, literally. But then after that, it settles down, and this has been on my wrist for like about 5 minutes. It starts settling down. The sort of citrus obviously sort of dissipates a little bit. The cacao remains, but that dies down a little bit, and then the sort of tobacco and the sweeter kind of elements come through. Now, and I really, really started enjoying this fragrance after that sort of 5 minutes, and it smells really, really good. So as this starts to dry down, I just love it more and more. Basically, into the dry down, it goes into the mids and the sort of the jasmine and the pepper, and so the sort of floral spices come through, but with the benzoin to give it this kind of sweetness, and the various tobaccos and kind of woods in the base. So it's this woody tobacco sweetness with this slight spice floral thing that just lightens it a little bit, but it just complements. So that blend of all of those things together, they're just so well blended and well done. It smells really good. Now, if the thing is, you might kind of knock it and have a pop at Navitus, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, this fragrance was done by Francis Kirkshan, and you know what? He knows what the fuck he's doing, and it comes across in the fragrance. as I say, the right at the opening is not its best for me. It's not that it smells bad, but it's just citrus and the cacao. The cacao's strong and the citrus, they don't really. But once that citrus dissipates, the cacao remains, so you've got this chocolatey vibe. It then starts getting a little bit sweeter as the benzoin comes through, and then the woods and the tobacco. So you're left with this gorgeous, smooth, sophisticated, kind of sweet tobacco. It's not too sweet, it's not sickly sweet, it's probably not even as sweet as like tobacco vanille or something like that. But I think this is a great alternative to that sort of fragrance, and if you're looking for a sort of sweet, pleasant, dare I say it, mass appealing, like sort of woody tobacco fragrance, then all I'm saying is this is definitely worth a look. It's a definite kind of alternative to some of the more obvious ones like tobacco vanille, etc. So, and not many people are going to be wearing this or even know who Navitus are, but at the end of the day, they've got a top perfumer doing this, and it smells really good. So that's the takeaway from this video, is don't write it off just because it's Navitus. Get a sample of this, because honestly, this smells really good, and I've got no real reason to say that. I'm just as cynical about Navitus as anybody else, but at the end of the day, this fragrance has got a top perfumer behind it, and it shows. It smells really good. So, I mean, I can't knock it. I literally can't. Performance is really good on my skin. It's not beastly because it's very smooth and it settles down, so I don't get this absolute beast projection, fill a room, choke people out, noticeable from meters away or anything like that. It's there, it's noticeable. It's the sort of fragrance where it hangs around. I get 7-8 hours of performance, but it's one of those fragrances where I just constantly get wafts of it. So sometimes I kind of not notice and I'll just move, I'll reach for something or whatever, and I'll get a nice waft of the fragrance, which is really pleasant. So you do know it's there, it is noticeable, but it's kind of not too in your face or over the top or sort of cloying or anything like that. So performance I've got no issues with. Again, performance is really good. So at the time of recording, this is currently sold out on the Luxe Parfum website, but it's 100ml for 145 quid. That's quite a lot of money to some people. If you're into niche, it's not. You're probably used to those prices. If you're a designer, sort of basic bitch like me, that's sort of quite a lot. But as I say, it does smell really good. So I guess the takeaway is get a sample if you can, but if you're looking for a very sweet, mass appealing sort of tobacco, woody tobacco fragrance, I think this is definitely worth considering. So get a sample and you can decide for yourself if it's worth the money. As I say, for some it won't be, some it will be. I think it smells really fucking good though. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, sorry, I know you want me to bash Navitus, but I've not smelt any others. I've only smelt this one and it smells incredible. So that's it, that's my first Navitus Parfums fragrance review. Apologies if you clicked on this looking for some sort of bitch fest. Sorry, I've disappointed you. Normal service resumed next time, hopefully. I've not smelt any other Navitus, so do balance this out. Comment below, let me know which ones are definite ones to miss for you and which ones are hits. But at the end of the day, for this particular fragrance, I think Francis Kurkdjian knows what he's doing, and it shows in this fragrance. It's super smooth, well blended, it smells amazing. Sorry for those of you that didn't want me to say that. Like, comment, subscribe and all that shit, you know the score. And yeah, thanks again for watching. I'll see you for a video soon. Take care, much love.